Our viewers, welcome to another episode from Anything About Everything. As you can see, there's an update in my studio, and thanks to Ranjan. We had a pretty deep episode previously, and so all I wanted to say is I've started reading this book. I was going through something in life, and then me and Ranjan on the phone kind of had a back and forth, and I was like, I want to read the book when I am in right headspace. And Ranjan spoke to me saying, I think you're doing it backward.
Yep.
At least about this book, you have to be reading the book when you're not in right space.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean that when you're in right headspace you can read this, but all he said was this book is going to help you. And then he made sure he came over, he sat down and he said we're going to read this book together.
Yep.
And that's what our previous episode was. And I'm going to edit a little bit on that and just focus on our back and forth between why this book has to be read. But I felt when I started reading this book, I couldn't put this book down. I'm not saying because you're here, but on a serious note, that's why I felt like this book deserves its own series, like a playlist on my channel. So we're going to go through the book, and then I'm going to ask questions on every single page, on every single stanza that I have. Because when I was reading it, I had so many questions. There's concept about Guru, there's concept about Guru as teacher, there's concept about Prakriti, Purusha, the divine source, how do you invoke divine source? And then I have so many questions, so I thought who's the best person to answer would be the author himself. So that's why I decided that I'm going to do this. So Ranjan, thanks a lot for doing this, and thanks a lot for this book.
No, thank you for having me. And to add to that, I knew something was going on in your life, and like I said, that's what we are here for, man. If you are not able to support one another, what's the point of living?
True.
There's no point to life at that point. So, and really nice setup here, and yeah, kudos onto that. I hope this is going to be the next, level up for
Definitely,
you.
yep.
And try seeking out other ways. Hire interns. There could always be free internship work, right? There could be someone who's in a high school who you could bring in and say, hey, if you want to do some video work, podcast editing and things like that, come help us.
That's true.
It's always
my next goal is to buy 2 cameras and have 2 things. That's what I'm working next towards. So while I'm upscaling, I have to also think about next step. How can I upscale to the next level?
Right.
Awesome.
Yep.
So let's get to the book. I have read almost 40% of it, but I want to start from the beginning. We'll go chapter by chapter. Ranjan, we might have to do a few things whatever you spoke about chandas.
Yeah.
And it's interesting for me because I've started listening to, recently I've been listening to Hanuman Chalisa every morning and Vishnu Sahasranama.
Yeah.
And that Vishnu Sahasranama, correct me if I'm wrong, it's in the same chandas.
Yes.
Right?
Most of the devotional aspects of this are always in I won't say always, most of them are in the Anushtupa chandas.
Anushtupa, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that. So this is the book for people who want to buy it. It's on Amazon. Please do buy it. I highly recommend it.
My suggestion would be try to get the first book. That way it'll give you a good segue into what you're trying to get into. And then this one, and then I told you the third one
is
in the making.
In the making.
Yep.
So my 2 previous episode was this. I think not the previous one. The one before that was about that book where we go deeper into it. But this one we'll go in depth. That was more of me reading and writing down a question and asking more question. This is going to be more in depth. We'll go verse by verse and then ask questions. I'll ask question to you, and
Sounds
I'll
good.
think of as a whole, as an audience, not only on my behalf, but I would think even what I don't go through, what somebody might go through and ask questions, right?
Definitely. Aditya Hrudayam.
Aditya Hrudayam.
One of the most sacred hymns, man. I cannot emphasize on the importance of Aditya Hrudayam.
So on a honest note, I didn't know that Aditya Hrudayam was such impactful thing. I always thought it was Bhagavad Gita, those Vishnu, those verses.
Yeah.
But why is this Aditya Hrudayam not so prominent? Is it because am I not deep into it? What is the reason?
No, I think at some point, right, we've traded our belief system for modern life, which
What
is
do you mean
a
by
tragic thing.
Can Can you give me an example? Like, what do you mean by belief
Sure.
system to a
You know,
mortal?
how many Bhagavad Gita, okay, is very appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
And the reason why Bhagavad Gita is so appealing, okay, is again not trying to get into like the good or the bad or the cult or the non-cultist side of it. That's for each of their own individual perspective
To discover.
because of ISKCON, and but who's promoting Aditya Hrudayam? No one is. And the worship of sun is something that you can do every single morning. For other gods, you have to go to the temple or you have to go to your puja room and everything, right? But can you escape the sun for a single day? You can't. You just can't. We call Surya Bhagwan Pratyaksha Deva. Like he's the live god, right? You can see him, okay? And with the multiple invasions, destruction of the solar temples and everything, the flavor of it was like slowly taken away from us. But even now, to be very honest with you, I mentioned about it. There's this beautiful temple in Srikakulam. Okay, very beautiful. One has to try to go there, right? And then Kashmir again, I would say be a little, cautious about it because you never know when the system might get, out of hand. But the Marthan Sun Temple completely destroyed. Okay, and then there's one in Uttarakhand, completely destroyed. Konark Temple, gone. So you have very few sun temples left in India, and it is my humble request, okay, to all your viewers, don't just go to the temples which are marketed. And what I mean by marketing is the spiritual marketing. Okay, it's like people say, oh, you go to this temple and your desires and wishes will be fulfilled. Why are you being such a beggar? First of all, why should you be a beggar? God gave you hands, legs, eyes, everything, right? You do your work. Why do you still want him to come down? Most of us want God to be like, hey Siri, do this for me. That's the definition of God for most of the people, right? Get out of that zone. Don't be a beggar. Don't be a beggar. Yeah. Do your work and use God to realize who you actually are, right? But no one wants to face that because the moment you start knowing who you are, right, you're entering into a scary territory.
Oh, it is.
Right? So people don't want to put that effort into it. It's going to take you away from your friendships, from your relationships, from your patterns, habits and everything. And you feel like totally cornered and isolated. And it's going to like shake your system like completely in a violent way. So people don't want to do that. Instead, they want to indulge in like all these other, simpler parts of the faiths. Right, where they just go to a temple and they're like, okay, which is fine, that's a. But how long? How long will you just keep doing the same again, right? Try to know your religion in depth. What is it actually teaching? Right, because for us, God is complete nothingness, and from that nothingness, everything emerges, right? And sun pretty much does the same thing, right? In the night time, it is complete nothingness. Everything is like quieting, okay? He's the first one who wakes up. And then from him, you wake up.
Everything starts.
Yeah.
Adi.
Yep. Everything from the beginning.
Awesome.
Yep.
Let me start off with this question. I did read it, but in a nutshell, if you have to tell my viewers, you've written it pretty well. Who is this book for and who is this book not for?
Yep. No, I think that's only that's me being responsible. Yeah. Because people are spending their money, right? If this is not appealing to you, that's okay. There are so many other books outside. If your idea of meditation is to, hear to some gong bells and then say, oh, it's calm, everything is calm. More power to you. That's not the school I ascribe to, right? Meditation for me is like everything, complete awareness.
Meditation
not just like shutting your mind off. How long are you going to be able to shut your mind off for? That's not a practical thing to do, right? So you have to absorb everything and still detach from it while you're still attached to it.
That's interesting. Like, what do you mean by absorb everything, be attached, but be detached? How do you like? It's a new concept. It's a foreign concept to me.
You have to understand, right, that you are just renting in this body. That's it. Okay, just like how you pay your mortgage or your rent for your apartment, okay, you're also using this body for rent. Okay, so everything that you're seeing outside, okay, primarily touches only your body level. Very few things touch your soul. Very, very few things. Okay, your parents' love. Okay, your own experience of life and death. Okay, your own experiences of success and failures, if you still attach to it. That is, because at one level, as you start going deeper and deeper into it, right, you'll understand that you're even beyond success and failure.
Yeah.
Right? And when that happens, you'll actually see that there is no difference between you and anyone else, including the God himself. Okay? You are a fragment of the God himself. Okay? And when you know that, you'll start realizing that this entire world was created just for you. Actually, you are the entire world. Right? It's a much deeper concept, but then it's like you got to peel the onion. You got to keep peeling the onion, one layer, right? And very few people, most of the people who say I'm enlightened, first of all, if someone says I am enlightened, run far away from them, because they've already introduced the word I. There's no meaning to it. Okay. And the ones that I've met, the ones who are really, really enlightened, okay, they live a very simple life, extremely simple life, very normal life. They go to the marriages, they go to restaurants and everything, okay. You'd be amazed. They won't have all this mockery.
Is it?
Yeah. Absolutely no mockery. Yeah. They'll be like very down to earth. They'll talk to you, okay, in the language that you understand. They'll have a full-time job. They have responsibilities, everything, but nothing touches them. They're always in that state of, yeah.
Interesting that you say that. So, with meditation, you can attain that.
I won't use the word meditation, right? Because meditation is very diluted.
With today's
For
generation?
me, yes. For me, I would just use the word with total surrender. Yeah, with total surrender, right? And prarthana, with devotion, right? And and with Guru's grace.
Yeah. Awesome. It's not deviate much, but
yep. I tend to get a little emotional about that. So
going back to the thing, who is this book for and who is this book not for?
Yeah. I think you read it, so you should encapsulate that for the users.
I wanted to, you've put it so well. Like it's more like for people, in my understanding, it's more for people who want to look inward and learn things versus look outward and learn things, right?
Correct.
Like last time you summed it up really well. How many people do Surya Namaskar, sun salutation? Every yoga studio does it. Almost everyone knows about it. But really, who know why they do it? Is it because my legs are paining, I want to stretch? Is it because I want to get a good body figure, I want an abs, I want this? Or is it genuinely like, I'm doing this because I'm paying respect and homage to a particular deity, right?
Correct.
So it's, if you can distinguish yourself between those two, then you can know who's this book for, if I said it right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And also not for like the super secular people, because they want to like dilute everything away from it, right? And this is not for them. If you want to say, no, Surya Namaskaras are for everyone. Yes, they are for everyone. But then don't like completely whitewash it, because at some level, most of the people have to understand that authenticity dies when it is culturally appropriated.
Wow, that's a nice phrase.
Right?
Authenticity dies when it's culturally appropriated.
Yeah.
Always?
Like, most of the times. Like, I don't know if you remember this or not, but back in our childhood, if you went to a wedding in India, okay, you would sit and they would serve the food on a banana leaf and everything.
Correct.
Right? Now, is that happening? No.
It's funny. It's a paper that printed like that banana leaf and it's served on a paper.
Yeah.
It's so backward. I can tell so many examples how we're doing it back. It's kind of ridiculous now. Yeah.
At some level, our weddings have been culturally appropriated.
Yeah.
right? There's science to an entire wedding, why the events are like structured in a certain way, right? Not just the weddings, right? Even right from your birth till death, everything is like structured. Okay, when you're born, okay, there's like an event, and afterwards, when for naming you, there is a namakarana event, right? And then after that, there's like aksharabhyasa. They'll teach you how to, start studying. Annaprasana. They'll teach you how to eat food. Okay. First thing is like the breastfeeding part of it. After it is done, when you're actually taking solid food, that is celebrated as like a major event. Okay. How many people do all of these things now? They don't. And after that, there's upanayana. There is like, the wedding. And after the wedding, when you're having like, if your daughter is now going through like, if she starts like menstruating and everything, there's like an event for that. And when your son is getting married, even you have to go through a certain event. Right from your birth till your death, everything is like so beautifully celebrated. Okay? And what happened? We've traded that for the sake of modernity. Now, don't get confused for all the viewers. Just because I'm wearing a suit and everything, none of it is going to is like just preaching but not practicing. That's not true. Okay, I still wear my Janeyu every single day. I still do my Sandhya Vandanam every single day. All of these things, because it gives you that super solid anchor, right? It gives you that discipline where you can like focus and say, okay, yes, this is my culture. I'm the custodian of this. Okay, whether other people are doing it or not is a different thing. But I've been given this super rich culture and heritage, and I'm going to follow it.
Well said. Yeah. There's a saying that I remember. It said, "Ano Badra," like, I forgot the saying. I've heard it long back, but what it entails is like no matter where, you have to have a good anchor, but if you can make your life more easier, you can take that, imbibe that, but don't live whatever your base anchor is. Yep. Like try to go more deeper into that. Like that's why if you wear suit, if you wear jeans, that doesn't mean that you don't follow your own culture.
Correct.
It's not that we have to always be in the kache or like those kind of things.
Yeah. There's a time and space for every single thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Since we are appealing to the modern viewers, my goal is that, hey, you can be modern, but don't forget your roots. Right? So, yeah. And who is this for? I would say for everyone. Just read the book. I genuinely think you will be able to appreciate the book.
Definitely. That's the whole reason, like when we did it, and when we started it, and for me to redo it, I was like, I think anyone who's going to, even if they're working in a corporate job and they have a small project going on, even for them this will help, because it starts off with the same thing. Anything that starts off, and everybody will be starting off something, or they're in middle of something.
Right. Wait till you read the next book, Raghu. Your
excited.
Mind is going to get blown like completely. That is going to like completely redo your work.
Do you have any timelines about like when?
I don't. I don't put timeline.
That's good.
It's because I want to give the best of it. Yeah, and if I put a timeline, I'm going to like now try to crunch it and everything, and I don't do that. I don't think it is justified for me, and I don't think it is justified for anyone who's trying to read the book.
Makes sense.
Yeah. While you're going for that, I'll tell you an interesting bit. There is Surya, okay, who is the sun god. Okay. You know who his brother is? Yama.
Surya's brother is Yama?
Yeah.
So for the viewers, Yama is the god of death.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is is there a small story?
Think about it like more scientific approach. Okay, because the story's beautiful.
Okay.
Everything is great and everything. Okay. And there's also Shani. I won't tell you the relationship between Shani and Surya, but there's a relationship between them too.
Shani is basically Saturn, if I'm not wrong. No? Or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But you'll see, okay, that Yama and Shani are dark in color.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And Surya is very bright. Okay, one is the light and one is the shadow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually you. One is your side and the other is the dualistic opposite side of yours. And which one are you working on? And when they both merge and then you see it, right, then it becomes like Chit Prakasha. Your consciousness is going to like start shining bright. Yeah. So I didn't mention all of that in the book because it's going to get like way too deep and people might lose track of things.
So
but
honestly, like it's more good. It's like people who are more interested in the book, who go through this book, probably they'll come to this podcast somehow and they'll get more details about what we are speaking, because we are going way beyond what is in the book. So
Right.
probably you're doing it here.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Also, like if you start taking me in this route, I'm going to like completely blow your mind on this. Okay. Same thing with. Have you heard of Daksha Prajapati?
No.
Parvati's father. Well, actually, Sati Devi's father, not Parvati's father. Okay. Sati Devi is Shiva's first wife, who immolates herself and everything. The whole story, right? Daksha Prajapati has 27 daughters.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, technically 28, I believe. And then 27 of them get married to the moon.
To the moon?
Yes. Moon is a god as well.
Chandra.
On our side. Chandra. Okay. And the story that, the moon is showing favoritism only towards one of his daughter. Okay. And that's why Daksha Prajapati curses the moon, saying he's going to die abruptly. Okay. Because he's not treating his other daughters well. Okay?
Sort of 27, he only shows favorism to one.
Correct. Okay. Now the gist of the rich science that you have behind this, okay, is in the constellation you have 27 stars. Okay, and only one star is close to the moon. Look at the way they've explained all of this so beautifully in the narrative form, so that you can understand science, you can understand how the world works and everything. If you're ignoring all of that and just reading it like a story and everything, right, you're not using the best use of your intellectual faculties. You have to expand your mind in all horizons, is what I mean, right? Now, whether there's a superficial element attached to it or not, sure. If you want to indulge in that, go for it, right? But if not, at least you can learn science.
Yeah.
You can make like these crazy connections and you're like, holy smoke, this is like completely blowing my mind. And then it's going to get you so much more interested in this. And then when people say, oh, Hinduism, the dots and the cows, you're like, really? You want to know more about our religion? Come on, I'll talk to you about it. Because that's what happens to us, right? We are like, so everyone still looks down on Hindus and everything. But then if you understand it, then you'll be able to go to the debates and then you can really shut up the people's mouth. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Interesting. And for me, like talking to you on our first podcast, probably one or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
1 year ago. I've stopped addressing us as Hindu. Like I try, it's habitual that I say Hindu, but I've always, like now I've started consciously saying it's more Sanatana.
Correct.
Sanatana.
Correct.
It's Sanatana religion. That's what I say.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Interesting.
That's a very good intro. You've got quite a few encapsulated things in there.
Okay. In Prana's Cosmos, you talk about inward and outward approach, right?
Yep.
And you bring that up in the first verse as well.
Yep.
I don't want to get ahead, but let's just talk about the inward-outward approach here. So, why is it so important for the readers to know about that inward-outward approach? Because nowadays we just speak about outward approach. Today everything is about outward approach.
Right.
Most of the time, at least.
Right.
We don't give attention. Like for example, I don't know why I'm just getting more into like mantras, and thanks to you as well. Like I've started listening to a few things, and I feel like that's the nice way to start things, right?
Yep.
And then Andrew Huberman, he talks about this. He's like, if you want to focus on something, you have to first be in the nothingness, like of not having any kind of stimulation to your mind. And when you go and sit on something, you'll focus like intensely. So why have we lost that approach in the modern world?
I think it's from a perspective of the religion itself, right? We live in Kali Yuga, right? The age of darkness, right? And when they say the age of darkness, where is the darkness? The darkness is inside, okay? And so that's why you're constantly seeking validation or some kind of an approval from the outside world, whether it is like YouTube short videos or, Instagram feed,
Reels.
Facebook, social media, anything, right? Or video games, whatever it is, right? But then when my teacher actually told me this verse, it just blew my mind. Antar lakshyo bahir drishti. Okay? The aim is always inward. Okay? But then what you're seeing should be outward. Because what is happening outside, okay, only when it truly reflects and is fully encapsulated on the inside, okay, is when you are going to find peace. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a distraction. Okay? Now, your entire life, okay, is actually inward and outward.
How?
Okay, let's go to. I'm going to reveal one. There is no easy way for me to say this, so I have to go. There is this amazing scripture called Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Okay, it's not for beginners. So let me please warn. Okay, don't just read the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra if you don't have a teacher, because it's a very powerful scripture. Very, very powerful scripture. It deals with Kundalini awakening and all of that, right? And in Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, there is this beautiful verse, okay? Because Shiva is directly teaching Parvati in this one, okay? Because in the very first verse, Parvati Devi says, Shrutum Deva Maya Sarvam, Rudrayamala Sambhavam. But and that's a whole different scripture, okay? She says, I've heard about all of these things. I've read these scriptures and everything, but I still want to know, what is your true nature? Okay? And so he says, welcome to the journey, because my true nature, who Shiva is Shakti. Okay? And then he says, but you can realize this only through practice. And so he gives her like 112 different techniques on how to practice. One of the beautiful jewels that you can find in that, it is called, I'm not going to tell the upayas and everything, what kind of upaya, because like I said, it requires a really good guru for you to learn about it. It's called Sakarena Bahiryati Hakarena Visit Punaha. Okay? It says the external breath, okay, is Sakarena Bahiryati. That should make the sound like sa. Okay? And then the refreshing internal breath, okay, it should make the sound ha. Hakarena Visit Punaha. Okay? And he says this happens to every single living being. Okay? And the moment they become very aware of that, okay, it's a meditative practice. They'll find Shiva. Okay? Forget that. Let's ignore that. It's not there. Okay? If I asked you, okay, what is that one thing that makes you do all the work? Anything. Okay? It's actually inspiration.
Correct.
Okay? What is inspiration? Inspiration is not something that you'll find outside. It is inside. Okay? If you're looking for inspiration outside, it's expiration. You're dead at that point. you see how it goes in there, okay? The problem is everyone looks for inspiration outside. It doesn't work that way. You can find motivation from outside, but inspiration is inherently inside you, okay? And only when that Ichha Shakti kicks in, okay, is when you'll be able to do anything with like full focus. Otherwise, you're just working like a dead body at that point, because you're not looking for inspiration. You're looking for expiration of that. Okay, inhale, exhale. Okay, inside, outside. As inside, so outside. Yeah.
So everything starts with inside.
Everything is inside. Inside. Antar lakshyo. Your goal is to go inside. Yeah.
And then in the next part of this Prana Cosmos, you talk about several Surya temples.
Yep.
Adi temples.
Yep.
You talk about how it's been destroyed.
Yeah. It's not just destroyed, they took pleasure in destroying it. Like such sadistic pleasure.
And the reason being?
Because they don't believe in idol worship. Okay? Now, at the highest level, we don't believe in idol worship either. Okay, Sanatana Dharma doesn't believe in idol worship. Yeah. Okay. But then the Lord says, okay, but your mind is always trying to run away from you. Okay. So if you need to install an idol, okay, and if you need to do prana pratishta, you just can't set up an idol over there and then say, I'm going to worship this one. Okay. If you actually know the tradition, the Vedic rituals and everything, you need to do something called prana pratishta. Okay. You will have to invoke the god, and then the god has to reside in that. Okay. And the god will give you the permission whether or not he's going to accept that idol and everything. It's an entire process, a beautiful process. Okay. That way it becomes a very focused object.
Do people still follow when they build temples, that process?
I don't know about how they do it in the US, to be honest. Let's take one step back, okay? We have so many temples that are in ruins right now, okay? If someone is not taking care of a temple of their own village or of their own city, which is in ruins, but is giving donation to a new temple that is being constructed, okay, what do you call that person?
Insane.
It's that simple. But that's what we want. Because our name has to show up on a big marble plate saying donor 1 lakh rupees over there. That's what people want eventually. And free parking. That is important too, right?
With
and every year they have to
name.
get that calendar, right? Every year when they the Panchanga releases for the Ugadi and everything, these temples will send you calendars, and then when they'll do the special pujas and everything, they'll send you the vibhuti or something of that sort for the donation that you give. Everything it goes down to a level of scam. Every single thing.
So have you watched the movie Oh My God, and have you watched the movie PK? What is your take on it?
Very liberal, extremely liberal. Okay, I can understand the message behind it, but I also don't know if the presentation is something that I liked.
In both the movies?
Yes, in both the movies.
Okay.
In both the movies. Yeah, because there were like certain scenes which were very objectionable to me.
Can you give one example for me?
Like in case of PK, for example, okay? Amir Khan is like, he's searching for God, and then he's looking for this guy who's like dressed up like Shiva and everything, and then he goes there, right? It's like very targeting one particular, religion over there, right? It's like when you say God, you're only targeting like Hindu gods, right? You don't show like other gods from other religions. You don't show like anything else. It's a very easy target because we don't respond to it. We're like, hora bhai hone do. That's it, right? But you dare do it, okay? Have you heard about that controversy that happened in Denmark like a few years ago, where they drew like a cartoon of Prophet?
No.
Yeah, they drew a cartoon of Prophet. The entire city was like on rampage.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just
happened
for a
to,
cartoon?
Yeah, what happened to Salman Rushdie? They stabbed him because he wrote satanic verses. Yeah. They issued a fatwa on him. They're like, anyone who kills him is going to get like $1 million.
Oh.
Yeah. But then you keep doing like things like this in the so-called Hindu community, no one responds, so people just take liberal approach towards it. Yeah. If you're doing it, sure, do it for everyone. Don't just target like one community over there, just because it's like an easy voice, so.
Interesting.
Yeah. Same thing even for Buddha, right? How many times have you seen mockery of Buddha? Right? I'm not saying that there's like a underside of it or anything, but it's only like when you take movies like this, it's only mocking like one particular religion, and that's where I have a problem fundamentally.
And also on Amazon and everything, like I didn't long back, probably in 2019 or 2018, I saw like people or on Amazon them selling like Ganesha scriptured bed sheets and like mats and everything.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I didn't know that it existed. I saw it in one of my friends' home.
Yep.
She said it just looked cute, and it was her towel or something like that. I'm like, do you know what that is? I have no idea. So it's what you say makes sense. It's like it's not that good of an representation,
right,
of a religion or a god that millions of people worship.
It's people's sentiments that you're playing with, essentially, right? And you cannot keep doing a mockery of people's sentiments. It's a tragic side to go down to. No.
Is it like when people do that, can they take a stand saying that I don't believe in any religion, that's why I'm doing this? Is that
if you're a complete atheist, go for it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's explainable?
Yeah. Completely. You can criticize, if you're criticizing God, criticize all gods. Now, the irony is there is no all God. God is just one, right? And I get the point, but then you can't just take one side and keep criticizing it over and over. That's when it becomes like very, what's your approach over here? You know, so it doesn't look like you're a real atheist over here. It looks like you're a funded atheist.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The first thing that I would say, right, is when you're reading, when you're seriously getting into it, for all the viewers, right, if you're trying to read Aditya Hrudayam, like really sacred scripture, and I believe I mentioned this in the book as well, you know, start with worshipping Ganesha.
Ganesha.
Yeah. Okay, because he's the obstacle remover. Okay.
And Saraswati.
And Saraswati Devi. Saraswati Devi is like the imparter of knowledge.
Yep. I'm planning, like, off lately I'm starting my work with those two things, just the morning.
Yeah.
Om Gam Ganapati Namaha.
Yeah.
Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Karmarupini.
Kamarupini.
Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhi Bhavatu Me Sada. Right?
Correct. One of the most beautiful verses. Okay. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini. She is the goddess of desires, right? She will fulfill all your desires, right? Vidyarambam Karishyami. What is my desire over here, right? Vidya Arambham. I'm starting education. I'm trying to pursue knowledge, okay? Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Siddhi, okay? Give me perfection in this. And make sure that I will always continue this pursuit. Not just for like a temporary goal, always.
Interesting. So, I chanted just once, but how many times? Is there a number of times that you have to chant before getting into that?
This is a good question, and it really depends on the person. You know, if you are able to really chant it once with like a sincere, devoted appeal, even once is enough. Okay? But for some people they need to calm their mind down and everything, so they'll get like a japamala and then they'll say, okay, 108 times, because out of the 108 times, very few moments their mind is calm, free from like the inflictions of like the external pull and everything, right? And in that moment, they go into that state of meditation, they into that state of real dhyana, right? That's when it materializes. Yeah.
And this is for viewers, like we have spoken about the value of 108 several times in podcasts. People who are interested, it's like a self-advertisement.
Yep.
Can go and watch back.
Correct.
Okay. So talking about pre-dawn, Ranjan, I'm going to explain what I understood in pre-dawn, and we can get more into it. So pre-dawn, you explain how Aditya Hrudayam started, right? Rama is in the state of nervousness, confusion, doubt.
Correct.
He's in the battlefield, right? And it's almost the end of battle. He's tired. He's internally very tired.
He's fatigued.
Fatigued?
Yeah, like if you know the story of Ravana and Rama, right? Ravana has this boon that, you know, he's got like 10 heads. Well, metaphorically, it's a different story, okay? But you keep hitting the head, it keeps coming back again. You keep hitting the head, it's going to keep coming back, right? Until a secret is revealed, okay? So Rama is like waging this battle, and then he's like hitting his head. Nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing is happening, right? And it's like, how do I conquer this, right? And ironically, the 10 heads of Ravana represent something, right? Like, for example, if I keep hitting ego, okay, no matter how many times I keep hitting it, it's going to keep coming back again.
Various forms of ego.
Right. In the different forms, desire, okay, lust, everything. That is the personality of Ravana, okay. 5 heads on that side, and then 5 heads of like, extreme intellect, knowledge, discipline, everything. Okay, he's like a composed. I won't say composed. He's more tilted towards the inauspicious side of things, but then he's got like really good qualities as well. Okay, and Rama is like, how do I beat this guy? Like, is this even worth the battle anymore? And he's like fatigued, man. Like, it's almost like, you're trying to solve that Rubik's Cube overnight, and then you're like making all the attempts, and then, it's like, no, I'm not able to do it. And then again, you're like sleepless, you're still figuring it out, nothing is working out. And then you're like, almost about to give up kind of a thing, right? That's the situation that Rama is in at that point. Yeah, it's most of the people don't even know that Aditya Hrudayam is actually from Ramayana. Right? But Aditya Hrudayam is a part of Yuddha Kanda from Ramayana.
Yuddha Kanda.
Yeah. There's like different kandas in Ramayana. Most notable ones are like Sundara Kanda and Yuddha Kanda. Okay, Sundara Kanda is where you'll see about Hanuman's glory and Sita Devi being taken away and everything. Very beautiful, extremely beautiful. If you get a chance to read Valmiki Ramayana, what amazing story! What amazing
Valmiki Ramayana.
Oh yes, definitely. Same thing, Mahabharata again. You have the Bhishma Parva, which is like, once you read that, you literally are like, how were they able to fathom these kind of literary concepts back in the day, right? And not just that, you've like, when the West says, oh, these are the greatest epics, you have no idea, because you keep like, a lot of them are still not even, completely known.
Yeah.
We think we've encapsulated it, but no. There's still a lot of treasure troves that have to be like brought in from like different parts, because it happened across the nation. It's not like just one point, right? It goes all the way from, Ayodhya to Lanka, right? And then there's like tabloids, for lack of a better word, like all these inscriptions and everything where they found, and maybe in the upcoming, years and centuries, they'll still find it, and all of those are still going to get like encapsulated into Ramayana and Mahabharata, right? So if you're thinking this is done, no, you're still going to like keep getting new secrets and new information get encapsulated into this one. Yeah. One of those brilliant pearls of Ramayana is Aditya Hrudayam.
Aditya Hrudayam.
Oof. I would say start your day with Aditya Hrudayam. Yeah. Transformative.
He's there, and at that point, you bring in a concept of Purusha and Prakriti.
Yeah.
Purusha is this unchanging consciousness which is constant.
Yep.
And Prakriti is more, I won't say changing, it's more bearer of life.
More like the nature.
Nature.
And when I say nature, not just outside nature, but your own nature as well. Okay? And nature is made up of, your Prakriti is made up of gunas. Okay?
Gunas is qualities?
I would say characteristics. Okay? And there are 3 gunas. Okay? Satvik, Rajasic and Tamasic. These are the 3 gunas that you have. Okay? And everyone has these 3 gunas in them at some level. Some are more on the Satvik, some are more on Rajasic, some are more on Tamasic, but all 3 will be present. Okay?
What is Satvik, Tamasic?
Satvik is like pure light. Very, very well, for lack of a better word. Okay? And Rajasic is like driven by ego. Okay? And Tamasic is darkness. Yes. Okay? Even our food is categorized into Satvik, Tamasic and Rajasic.
How?
Meat, for example, okay, is Tamasic.
Okay.
Okay? The roots, like onion, potatoes, things like that, anything that doesn't see the sunlight, okay, is considered Tamasic. Okay? Fruits and nuts are considered Satvik.
Okay.
Okay? And there are certain vegetables, okay, which are considered Rajasic. They are going to boost your ego. They're going to boost your desire natures and everything. And when you think about it, right, if you eat a lot of onion, a lot of ginger and garlic and things like that, right, your a lustful side of you is going to increase a lot more, right, which disturbs your focus, and it takes you away from your goals. But yeah, there's a whole different science to it. In fact, Ayurveda is pretty much
into that.
Yeah, it does a pretty. Again, when I say Ayurveda, I want to be cautious because nowadays Ayurveda is also a scam. Okay, so be cautious as to who you're approaching.
You're talking about the original
Ayurveda, yeah,
what it was mainly meant for.
Correct, because if you're talking about original Ayurveda, you have to know about Dhanvantri. Okay, that's the god of Ayurveda and everything. He is the Maharshi, okay, and the god, okay. And in those scriptures, okay, you have two main sages, Sushruta and Charaka. Okay, you'll find Charaka Samhita and Sushruta Samhita. These are two really good books. Okay, and then they'll talk about what are the different constituents, what are the herbs that one has to use for like any roga, or things like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So that is the Purusha and Prakriti aspect.
Correct.
And Agastya comes in and gives Rama the Aditya Hrudayam.
Yes.
And how it helps him invoke the Prakriti in him.
In one way.
Okay.
How because in this context, the way I've referred it to, okay, is Rama is the Maryada Purusha. Okay, we call him Purushottama, in fact. He's the most Uttama, or the greatest of the Purushas. Okay, and in this context, okay, you're looking at Surya Bhagavan as Prakriti. Okay, ironically, Surya Bhagavan is also the Purusha. Okay, because he's like the Chit Surya, or the ultimate consciousness. Okay, but since Rama is like so away from his nature, okay, and he's getting fatigued and everything, okay, he needs to get think about it like a mental recalibration, okay, and then he needs to understand what the ground reality of the situation is. If he's going to like give up on the battle, what is going to happen, okay, and what are going to be the consequences of the future generations and everything, right? So on one side, when he's worshipping Surya, okay, he's invoking that Prakriti in him again, okay, along with invoking the Purusha Tattva as well. Okay. Now, on one note, okay, when we say Purusha and Prakriti, there's like different schools again in Sanatana Dharma, okay, in Vedanta philosophy, okay, and also in Sankhya philosophy. In Sankhya, you have 24 tattvas. Tattvas is a different concept again, okay, and Purusha is at the highest, okay. After Purusha is Prakriti, okay, and in Vedanta, there's like 25, okay. Again, Purusha being the highest. Okay. But the lineage that I am in, okay, we have 36 tattvas. Okay. For us, the highest is Shiva, okay, or Parashiva, okay, the most highest form, okay. So I just want to give that as a word of caution, because if there's like viewers from like the other lineages as well, okay, they'll find these numbers as like mismatching. Okay?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
It depends on which lineage.
Correct. But I try to make this as broadly applicable to all the lineages as much as there is to it. So, yeah.
So, this is the set of the stage for Aditya Hrudayam.
Yes.
Right? So, this is what my understanding is.
Yeah.
And
but what is actually Rama fighting over there? That is also the question, right? He's not fighting the demon, he's fighting his internal exhaustion, internal doubt. Okay. Now the question to all the viewers, all the readers is, when you're fighting, right? Let's say you're applying for a job, or something is not working out in your household or something like that, right? The biggest demon that you're always fighting is actually that doubt, the self-doubt. Okay, when you become victim and when you become paralyzed to that doubt, okay, that's when you lost the battle. That's when you lose the battle. The one who doesn't become a victim to that doubt and keeps pushing forward, okay, is always going to conquer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And also, I want to add on to this, correct me if I'm wrong. So, the process of self-doubt was also in the Purushottama, like Rama.
Yep.
But he could be Purushottama because he beat that. Am I correct?
Yes, in one way, and also in another way, he's an avatar. He came down to teach us that, right? See, because if at all he's in the form of Sri Mahavishnu, okay, why does he need to do any of this? He'll just blink his eyes and then everything is done.
Yeah.
Okay, but then what lesson is there for you and for me in that? At that point, we'll become like, okay, I have a problem. Vishnu, please blink your eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no action taken.
There's no
from
action taken by you, right? So that's why it's like, no, not going to happen that way, right? You got to put in the action. You have to put in the action. There is this beautiful, oh man, there is this something called Gajendra Moksha.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it?
No.
I'm going to assure you heard of it. Remember that story where an elephant goes into the river and then a crocodile catches its leg that your grandmother used to tell you when you were a kid? And then it starts worshipping Vishnu. And then Vishnu comes, uses the discus and then kills the crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many years that elephant had to wait? It didn't happen in an instant. That elephant had to wait for like thousands of years. Yeah. You know why? This is my take on it, okay? Because it was not fighting, right? It was just waiting for Vishnu to come. Right? But then Vishnu is like, dude, you are an elephant, okay? Try to fight that first. And then when he's like, no, this guy is not going to do anything, right? So if you want to keep suffering for thousands of years, then wait for Vishnu, okay? But if you want the result, you become the Vishnu and start acting like how Sri Rama did. That is the moral of the lesson. Does that make sense?
A lot of sense.
Yep.
So now it's time to start the verse 1.
Yep. You want me to chant it?
Yes. You have given a summary of how verse 1 to verse 30 goes through. We don't want to do that. We'll just get to verse 1. You please chant, and I've read verses, so
I would like for you to chant after me as well.
Okay.
Even your viewers can learn how to chant.
Yes.
Okay. Listen to the words first. Okay. You want to learn it the right way, then there's like technically 2 ways to learn the scriptures. Okay. It's called Shruti and Smriti. Okay. Very important concept. Okay. Shruti is by listening. Shrunu. Shruti. Okay. So you catch the tempo. Okay. Smriti is memorizing over and again, memory recall techniques and everything. Okay. When you have something in Chandas, okay, it's Shruti. Okay. You're listening to the Chandas. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to question you. What are the 2 ways to learn?
Shruti and Smriti.
Okay. Okay. This one Chandas, what Chandas is it?
Wait. I forgot.
Anushtupa
Chandas.
Anushtupa Chandas. Okay. The words, okay, listen to this. Tato yuddha parishrantam samare chintayastitam. Okay. Ravanam chagrato drishtva yuddhaya samupastitam. Okay. Now I'll chant it. You repeat it after me. Okay. Tato yuddha parishrantam.
Tato yuddha parishrantam.
Samare chintaya stitam.
Samare chintaya stitam.
Ravanam chagrato drishtva.
Ravanam chagrato drishtva.
Yuddhaya samupastitam.
Okay.
Alright. The meaning of this, okay, is then having seen Rama, who was exhausted from the long battle and was standing absorbed in deep anxiety on the battlefield, and also seeing Ravana, who stood before him, ready to fight. That's it. Okay. So in the first verse, right, what is happening is they're setting the stage.
Stage.
Okay, they're telling you, okay, what is happening. Yuddha. Okay, tato yuddha parishrantam. Okay, what is it? Then battle. Okay, so you'll have like the word-to-word meaning. I'm not going to go deep into it. Okay, so they explained the battle. There's a battle going on. Okay, who are the two main people over there? Rama, Ravana. Okay, what is the sthiti? Chintaya sthitam. Okay, chinta. It's extreme anxiety, worry. Okay, and then he says, cha agrata. In front was Ravana. Okay, so they're describing if Rama is the one who's battling and who he is getting, he's fighting anxious. Okay, because Rama is like, they've mellowed down. Okay, his strength and everything in the modern scriptures and everything. But then there's like one other verse, okay, that describes the strength and the valor of Rama. Okay, in which he says that when Rama pulls down the bow, okay, it looks like his shoulders are dancing. That's the level of description that he gives. Okay, and he says, no man, okay, even dares to stand in front of him.
In front of Rama.
Yeah. And also to set the stage, right? If you remember Sita Swayamvara, okay, Ravana and all the other kings go there. Okay, and then Janaka Maharaja, who is Sita Devi's father, right? He has this bow by Shiva. It's called Shiva Dhanush. Okay, he says whoever is able to tie the will, okay, villu means the thread, the string, okay, to this bow is eligible to marry my daughter. Okay, even Ravana goes there. He can't even lift that Shiva Dhanush. Okay, but then Rama single-handedly picks it up, and then he ties it up,
breaks it.
Yeah,
in the process.
Breaks it in the process. Okay, so you can imagine the strength. Okay, he's more stronger than Ravana. Okay, but still in this battle, okay, it's like, I'm giving in to my doubt. That is the context. In the very first verse, you know the entire context, right? That is the work of a literary genius. Okay, he's telling you, he's giving you an insight. Okay, what is happening? Okay. I'm going to skip the hidden meaning and philosophy part of it. You can explain it at a later point. Okay, the key takeaway. Okay, your true self, which is Rama or that consciousness, right, is feeling overwhelmed by the illusion of the problems. Because who is Ravana? Ravana is like this 10-headed illusion. Okay, but then if you want to kill Ravana, how do you kill him? You got to hit him in the belly. Once you hit him in the belly, he's dead. Okay, but if you're trying to target like all the heads, he's not going to die. Okay, so what we need to understand is, are you targeting the root of the problem, or are you just looking at the surface level problem? Okay, oftentimes, okay, you say, man, I gave this job interview, but they didn't get to me, and then the economic situation is bad, the job market is bad, and you'll find this best excuse given by the kids. I wrote everything well, but the teacher didn't, teach properly. Okay. All of them excuses. Okay, that's the illusion. You create your own illusions. No one else is creating that for you. Once you understand the root cause of the problem, okay, you're like, I've not been conscious about it. Okay, so now let me do it with full consciousness. The problem disappears. Yeah.
So here you've depicted Ravana as something which is outward challenges in life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. The illusionary outward challenges.
Illusionary outward challenges.
Yes.
Okay. And then you can solve only those illusionary outward challenges by getting the root of it.
Yes. And the root of it is inside.
Okay. It's inward.
Yes.
It's not outward.
It's not outward. Again, antarlakshyo bahirdrishyo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the best way to sum it up. Let's go to verse 2.
Verse 2. Okay. Daivataischa samagamya.
Daivaschaischa
Daivataischa
Daivataischa
samagamya. Okay. Say it. Daivataischa samagamya.
Daivataischa samagamya.
Drashtumabhyagatoranam.
Drashtumabhyagarotanam.
Drashtumabhyagatoranam.
Drashtumabhyagatoranam.
Upagamya bravidramam.
Upagamya bravidravam.
Bravid Ramam.
Bravidravam.
Bravid Ramam.
Bravidramam.
Okay.
How
And again,
much?
this verse, there's like two different verses of this. Okay. Depends on which version. Okay. For regular users, okay, this one is the one I have over here is a different verse.
How is the version different when it's the same Yuddha Kanda? Just curious.
That's because there's like 300 different authentic versions of Ramayana.
Really?
Yes.
So
almost 300 different authentic versions.
Valmiki Ramayana is not the only
No,
one.
Valmiki Ramayana only, there's 300 different authentic versions.
Oh, wow.
And it's because, man, your mind is going to blow on this one, okay? The same Ramayana is happening at multiple locations.
What do you mean by that? Is it? Are we getting into this parallel universe kind of thing?
Kind of. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. In a crazy, twist of tales, okay? Sita Devi was not actually born to Janaka Maharaja.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? She was found, okay, in earth. Okay? In one of the version, okay, Sita Devi is actually Ravana's own daughter.
What?
Yes.
Ravana's daughter.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a parallel Ramayana going on. Okay. And it's again, you have to understand this is not happening in Kali Yuga. This was happening in
Satyuga.
no, Treta Yuga.
Treta Yuga.
Okay. Where people still had like so many mystical powers and everything. Okay. So if Raghu, okay, and the people of his place, okay, wanted Ramayana to be in one way, Rama came to them in that way.
Okay.
Okay. But at the same time, it was also happening on the other side of it as well, in a different way.
But could you point out and say this is how Ramayana happened, any version of it?
That's not important, right? Because at the end of the day, okay, what is the key goal of Ramayana is Rama killed Ravana and brought Sita Devi back. That's it. That is the key takeaway, okay? Now, if you are going to get into, okay, how did it happen over here? How did it happen over here, right? That's work of historians or allegorical problem solvers. Okay. I would say for someone who's trying to get into spirituality or trying to find help using the spiritual tools, okay, that is probably not required. Because that's one of the distractions that you'll have. Okay, it'll take you further away because you'll start finding all these things. You're like, whoa, my mind just blew, and then you'll get distracted and you'll get into that one. Okay, and at that point you need to be like, no, you have to remember Ganesha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Remove the obstacles. Because distraction is an obstacle. Right? And then when that fascination comes in saying, this is really good, I'm going to try to, read through this one now. Okay? You've already separated away from your main goal.
Yeah, and it's like, I'll read first 10 pages of 10 different versions and see
Correct.
how is it different. Now you're completely solving a different problem
Exactly.
altogether. Okay.
You've got so farther away from your main objective over there that the purpose is lost. Okay, so don't let that happen to you.
Okay.
A lot of times in the spiritual practice that happens.
Is it?
Yes. A lot of people who learn from me, right? That's where I keep telling them, don't get distracted. Finish this first. But no. And you can't, because, when the time is correct, that's when they'll be able to finish it. Until then, no matter how much they try, they'll keep getting distracted. Yeah.
Can we chant this from the beginning again?
Daivataischa samagamya.
Daivataischa samagamya.
Drashtumabhyagatoranam.
Drashtumabhyagatoranam.
Upagamya bravidramam.
Upagamya bravidravam.
Agastyo Bhagavan Rishihi
Agastyo Bhagavan Rishihi
Daivataischa Samagamya
Daivataischa Samagamya
Drashtumabhyagatoranam
Drashtumabhyagatoranam
Upagamya Bravidramam
Upagamya Bravidravam
Agastyo Bhagavan Rishihi.
Agastyo Bhagavan Rishi.
Yeah, okay. It is Upagamya Bravidramam.
Upagamya Bravidravam.
Ramam.
Ramam.
Yes. Okay.
Bravidramam. Ramam.
So, the meaning of that, right? The best knower of all mantras, okay, is considered as Sage Agastya.
He's the best knower of
Yes.
all mantras.
Okay.
And I personally don't know Agastya. What is the backstory of Agastya?
We'll cover that in a different podcast.
Okay.
Because that's going to take
It's
its
a long
own journey.
story, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Agastya.
Is he in the previous anytime, was he in Ramayana, like in Ramayana helping Rama at any point, or this is the first entry of Agastya Muni to Rama?
I mean, see, when you think about it, right, everyone knew about Agastya.
Yeah.
Okay. Including Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. Okay.
Okay.
And so you'll find like, you know that Vishwamitra, okay, another important sage, okay, he's someone who takes Rama's help. Okay. When Rama and Lakshmana were like young boys, 14 or 13 perhaps, okay, Vishwamitra is trying to perform like this mighty ritual, okay, and then all the demons, okay, they're like pouring blood and bones and flesh and everything like that, trying to destroy it, okay. And so Vishwamitra goes to Dashratha Maharaja, okay, and he says, I need help, okay, and Dashratha Maharaja says, you can take my entire army. He says, no, I want both your sons. And it's like, they're young boys, they're 13, okay, and then you're saying these are like cruel demons who are killing and everything. How can I send my boys? He's like, Vishwamitra says, no, you've given me your word, send me your boys. Okay. And so he goes. So even at that point, Rama's valor is described, but not Agastya.
Not Agastya.
Not Agastya. Okay, many people think it is Agastya Maharshi, but it's Vishwamitra over there. Okay. But okay, you know how for yoga we say Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. For mantra, it's called Shadanga. There are 6 parts of a mantra. Okay. One of it is called, you have to know who the main sage is, who's perfected that mantra. Okay. And then you have to have the Kilaka, which means the key. Okay. When you don't have these two, your mantra is just parroting. You need to know that. Okay. And Agastya, okay, in some of the versions is the one who's elaborated on the science of mantras itself. Okay, he talks about how mantra diksha actually happens. Okay, and then that's another crazy thing all by itself. Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about Agastya in one podcast. Yeah. So the best knower of all the mantras, the sage Agastya, okay, had arrived at the battlefield, okay, with the gods to witness the war. Okay, and he approached Rama and spoke these words. Okay, the next set of words. Now they are sitting like, think about it like, okay, the high importance of this battle, that all the gods themselves have come to witness it. Okay, and then out of all of them, okay, there is this one sage who comes and he speaks to Rama. Okay, he's about to speak to Rama. Okay? These are the first 2 verses. Okay, and then the key takeaway, right, is the guru, okay, arrives precisely when the self-effort fails. You think you're doing everything right, okay, but nothing is working out. That's when you'll need one wise counsel, one wise suggestion, and that changes the entire thing.
So I have a question when it comes to that. What are the forms that Guru can come to you when you're going through an uphill battle, when you're going through the self-doubt? And in several phases of life, we go through self-doubt, right?
Yeah.
It can be job, like you said, job searching phase, family disaster. So how would you recognize that Guru, and how are the forms that Guru can approach to you?
At the highest level, the Guru is actually yourself. There is no teacher outside. You are your own teacher. Okay? But we are so illusioned, okay, that we cannot see that hidden latent power within ourselves. Okay? And at that point, okay, you will find the Guru. Okay? Now, how does one find Guru? It depends on a lot of factors. Prarabdha karma, first and foremost, okay? The things that you've done in your previous life, in this life, okay? All of them count towards it. Every single thing, okay? Otherwise, the Guru happens to you as your friend, to your parents, okay? There's this beautiful verse again. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu saka tvameva, tvameva vidya, dravidam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Okay, that's one verse. Okay, on the other side of it, okay, you say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Okay. And then you say Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. Okay? When you combine them, right, what is the gist of it? Tvameva Mata, you are the mother. Tvameva Pita, you are the father. Tvameva Bandhu, Saka Tvameva. Okay? You are my relative. Okay? You are my Bandhu. Okay? You're my relative. You're my Saka is like Sakhi, friend. Okay? And then you have Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, okay, Atiti Devo Bhava, okay, even the guest, mother, father, teacher, guest, okay, Guru Brahma, Guru is the Brahma, Guru is the Vishnu, Guru is the Shiva, okay. When you think about it, what not is Guru? Everything is Guru. Even the failed attempt that you're making is actually the Guru
Itself.
When you're aware of it, though. When you're not aware of it, yeah, nothing works. But when you're aware of it, every single thing is the Guru. Yeah. Now, if you want Guru in a human form, okay, that's a different thing. Okay, for that you need to do sadhana. Okay, you need to have so much good prarabdha karma, and you got to keep like practice. So much practice. Yeah.
I want to ask, it might be controversial. What is your, just because you said Guru, something came to my mind. What is your thought process on therapy?
What kind of therapy?
Say you have a therapist where you go once a week and talk to them about your life, what's happening to you.
Yeah.
So what is the therapy that we see in the Western culture? Or
I'm not a big believer of it.
Okay.
It's a templated therapy. Okay. They have a template. They'll ask you a bunch of questions, and you're just a checkbox. Okay. And based off on the responses that you give, okay. Well, think about it like this: if you're not going to pay your therapist, are they going to listen to you?
No.
Why do you need such a person? That's not genuine empathy. That's not real counsel. Because real counsel does not seek any profit out of it. I think you're much better off talking to your friends. But we don't have the courage to express our fears to our friends and family members. Sure, they might ridicule you. Okay? They might make fun of you. So what? They're your friends. Is your ego so fragile that your own friends cannot make fun of you? Isn't that a valid question?
But what if, again, I'm just talking to people and I've seen people saying, what if my friends have ulterior motives to support me or help me in that endeavor? That's why I would
in that case, you have bigger problems. Change your friends.
The root
of it, right? If you're saying my friends have ulterior motives, so I cannot, tell them everything, then obviously you're in wrong company over there, right? And Now the bigger question of it is, why do your friends have ulterior motives? Okay, there's this beautiful saying by Shakespeare. Okay, Shakespeare says, show me 5 of your friends and I will tell you exactly who you are.
Yes, I completely agree with that.
Right. So if you're telling me your friends have ulterior motives, what's your motive?
Makes sense.
Right.
So it boils down back to you.
Yeah. What you give is what you get at the end of the day. Right. I can call my friends and then I can talk to them about anything and everything. They'll make fun of it, rightfully so, and sometimes they will be pissed at the decisions that I've made in my life, and then they'll give me a counsel. But if I go to a therapist, it's like the first thing is, what insurance do you have? Okay, and how are you going to pay for this? The moment you say no, I cannot afford it, no one is going to accept you. None. Yeah. It's a big dent in the pocket. Nothing other than that. You're much better going to a psychiatrist. Get your brain scanned. Okay. The best therapy, however, is journaling.
Journaling?
Yes. Observe your thoughts. Journal them. But look at it from a very distant view. Don't reel into it. The problem, what happens to most of the people is when they start journaling their thoughts, right? They become one with the thoughts again. You cannot. At that point, you have to separate yourself from the thought. You're just writing. You're just a writer. Okay? That's when you can get the best out of it.
Is there a right way to journal? Do you have any inputs on that?
It depends from person to person. For me, I journal every single bit of my life.
When you say journal, you write down every single bit of it.
Yeah.
Every feeling, what you feel.
I go even more granular. When I wake up, I see what time it is. Okay? So from my wake up time till my sleep time, everything is documented.
And how does that benefit you?
Because I can see when I'm sleeping and where I'm sleeping. Okay? Let me say, typically on Thursdays, okay, I tend to not go to my yoga practice. Okay? And this is a pattern that I've seen only because I've been able to journal. Okay? And now, so what that led me to think is, what was my thought process like? Or what extra am I doing on Wednesdays? Okay?
That led to that.
That led to this particular thing. Okay? Am I burning out on Wednesdays? Okay? Too many calories. And what happens is on Wednesday is my easy day at the gym. I just stretch and I go for a much deeper stretch on Wednesdays. Okay? So on Thursdays, right, for me, I get a much more relaxed sleep. Okay? And I'm like, okay, so that's the reason. So I don't have to stretch that intensely in the gym on Wednesdays. That way I can have a more balanced thing. During the COVID time, you can call me crazy, all sorts of crazy, but this is what I used to do. I maintained a cough journal.
Cough journal?
Yeah. And a sneeze journal. Every single time I was coughing, I was journaling it. I was like, this time I journaled. And interestingly, I showed a pattern to my mom as well. Okay. My mom coughs every morning between 9:15 and 9:30. Yep. And then I was like, okay. And then I was like, what's happening? Okay. She's like, I don't know, I don't cough. And I was like, let's take an experiment on this one. And she's like, between 9:15 and 9:30, I was like, okay, now you want to know why? And she's like, why? She lights up the incense sticks. And that leads to her, after like a little delayed onset, is when she starts. I was like, that's the reason. I was able to figure it out, but you were not able to because you were not conscious about it, right? And she's like, dude, you're like borderline crazy at this point. Who goes on to this level? But it really helped me look into myself, right? It was like a wonderful experiment that I did on myself. And it gave me a whole different outlook towards life.
It did?
Oh, yes.
Towards life?
Oh, yeah. Every single thought that comes into my mind and everything, right? It's like something must be there behind that happened. Is it an idle mind? Do I have too much of free time? What is going on, kind of a thing, right? And it's like, yeah. It's a wonderful thing, though.
Wow, awesome. So, Ranjan, I want to end it with 2 verses,
Okay.
if I have your blessing to
Absolutely.
do that. And
Absolutely.
then in my next episode, we don't have to do the pre-dawn, and I think we can get straight to the
Straight to the verses.
verses, and we can finish like probably 4 to 6 verses depending on
Yep.
each thing, and 30 verses.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll be probably 5 to 6 episode
Right.
playlist.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this process. This is the first time I'm doing.
Yep.
And thanks for doing this with me. And viewers who have stuck around this long, hope you have gathered a lot of information. And like I said, please buy this book, and you can also follow along, and this will be a weekly podcast. I'll try my best to edit it and put it out every week, so you guys can follow on with the book, with the verses. Ranjan, you have any final words to the viewers?
Yeah, if someone, if the book is probably, if you find the book is on a little expensive side, let me know, and I can drop a promo code for them.
Yeah, please do comment if you find it expensive. Please do drop a comment on this, and I'll make sure that I relay it to Ranjan. Probably like he can send a coupon code to your email ID.
Yeah, because my goal is not about sales or anything. My goal is to make sure
it
this
reaches.
scripture is found, and then people are like absolutely putting it to use. That would give me immense joy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll link the book. I'll go back and link all our episodes to this book, and probably even most of the episodes of this
Sure.
book, and even this every series of this will have the like link to this book and the other book, the
Sounds good.
Self-Awakening book.
Yeah. Any final words, Raghu?
That is what I have, and yeah, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I might finish the book sooner, but still I'm going to make notes of it. And I like this process more than me reading it and then coming and asking questions.
Yeah.
I like this process where I'm going through stuff and in real time asking you questions. It's not that I don't read before, I do read before,
Right.
and I like this process more.
Sounds good. Yeah. As long as you're enjoying it, your
Yeah.
enjoyment is what I'm here for.
Thank you. Thank you so much, audience, and again, looking forward to talking to you again.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.